So I am a prolific creator. I am constantly working with vintage papers and creating projects that make me happy and give me a sense of satisfaction from making something that I like. But it wasn't always this way. I used to struggle and feel frustrated at my complete lack of ability to make anything that I liked. Even getting started felt like an uphill battle. And the hardest part was watching time pass while I still wasn't making anything that I was proud of. So in today's video, I'm sharing the single piece of advice that changed everything for me, that got me from stuck to creating constantly. So here's what I want you to do. Ask yourself honestly, what stops you from creating? Now, if your answer is about time, you're working full time, caregiving, raising kids, that's valid and real, but that's not what this video is about. I have a separate video which addresses that here. And if you're dealing with a physical condition or recovering from something, I completely understand. That's also what we're not talking about today. But for everyone else, I want you to dig deep on your answer to what stops you from creating. Because here's what I discovered. Most of the reasons we give ourselves are cover-ups for the real issue. I don't have the right supplies. My space is too cluttered. I need to organize first. I want to learn more before I start. I can't waste my good supplies until I am better. Maybe some of those reasons sound familiar to you. Here's the question I want you to ask yourself. What are you actually afraid of? Because for most of us, when we're really honest, the answer is, I'm afraid of disappointing myself. That was definitely true for me. When I first discovered collage and art journaling, I thought, oh my gosh, this is perfect. I love working with paper. I love this aesthetic. I want to jump in and start doing this. But I was filled with doubts. Sure, there's technical questions, like how do I layer things? What should the sizes and the proportions be? How do I create balance? But those weren't the real problems. The real problem was much deeper. I was afraid of doing it wrong, doing it badly, doing it embarrassingly bad, like a kindergartner could do it better. And beneath all of that was this terrifying idea. What if I make something that I hate, and what does that say about me? Does it mean I'm not creative, that I don't have any talent? It can be really hard to face those things, and so we don't. We organize our supplies instead. We watch one more tutorial. We wait until we feel ready, but very often that day does not come. A bunch of years later, I can tell you what changed everything for me. It was accepting this one truth wholeheartedly. Sometimes you're going to make art that you don't like or even hate, and that's okay. It's going to happen, and it's going to be okay. Once I accepted that, the pressure really lessened. I didn't have to worry so much about perfection anymore. I could relax more and create something, and if I didn't like it, I could learn from it and I could move on. So visualize it happening, because facing your fear helps. Imagine it. Say, I could make something that I hate. If this happens, what am I going to do about it? How am I going to react? Am I going to maybe tear it out of my journal and just get rid of it? Maybe I'm going to collage over it, add other things on top of it so I don't see it, or just keep on adding things until it looks better than it did before. Maybe I'm just going to leave it alone and turn the page and be like, okay, didn't love this one. Let's start something new. And here's something else that I learned that was super helpful. Being creative in an art journal with, say, collage, for example, is not a talent. It's a skill. And if it's a skill, that means that you can get better at it with practice. That's a relief, right? So if you're stuck right now, if you're watching videos but not making anything, if you're shuffling things, reorganizing, moving things, but not really creating, I want you to try something with me. Give yourself permission to make something disappointing. Actually say it out loud if you need to. I may make something that I don't like today, and that's okay. Now let me show you how I practice this. Go to your recycle bin and pull out some junk mail. Look for things like old envelopes from bills. Maybe you've got some offers, I don't know, from somebody. Look for magazines or brochures, anything that you can fold in half and make a kind of a booklet with. For covers, you could use a catalog. You could use something like a brown paper bag from the grocery store, whatever you have. You don't need to use a lot, maybe somewhere between 5 and 8 pieces of paper. Here's what my little booklet looks like. I've even titled it Mediocre Art. I've really set the bar low for myself, right? So if I don't like it, that's okay. The pressure's off, right? Now, what do I want to do in here? I can do things directly onto the page, right? I can experiment with all kinds of things. I've got my gelato, I don't even know what these are, crayons. Maybe I can do things directly on here, right? And experiment, see what happens if I rub it, if I use water. I also have these crayons that I've had them for years and years, but I just don't use them because I don't really know how, or I just, want to try a bunch of things and see what happens, okay? What else do I have? I have soft pastels. What kind of supplies do you have? What things do you have that you've wanted to experiment, but you've just not been brave enough to do it? Maybe you have a gel plate that you want to experiment with. You could do that right in here in something like this. Or if this even is too much pressure for you to put it in a little notebook like this, maybe you want to do it on a separate piece and then put it in. This is food packaging, and I did a gel pull off of this. This is quite frankly pretty ugly. I don't like it, but I did do one more with some interesting colors and images on the side. And then I put a rubber stamping in the middle where there was this big blank space. So I kind of turned this into something that, okay, right, I think I could do something with this. That looks kind of interesting, right? What about drawing? Maybe you want to draw something, use it as a sketchbook. Now, if I ask people, can you draw? If I asked you, can you draw? I bet you your answer would be like, no, I can't draw. I'm not good at drawing. Why? Because people automatically think about this kind of classical drawing, and they compare what they do to that. And so, of course, no, I can't draw like that. No way, right? But what if I get you thinking about drawing an interpretation of, say, a branch or a flower or something like that? What if I do something like this and just do some marks with a pen? This is just a Sharpie pen. And I do something that I can add color to. And it's not really anything. It's just the suggestion. It's just the idea that it could be something like a flower and a leaf and a bud of something, right? So now I'm going to take my gelato crayon and see if I can add some colors to this, because I don't know what it's going to do if I do this and smear it with my fingers or try and add some water. Let's see. So I'll try first with this. See what happens. Kind of softens it. That's interesting. Here's my opportunity to just experiment with these things. Used all my fingers. Let me try adding some water. Start with the yellow. I just want to move the color around, right? With that pen, Sharpie pen, I have the black underneath, which doesn't move, but I just want to kind of spread this color around and see what happens. Maybe I want to go back and add more color in, not sure. Let me try my crayons. Let's see what these look like. What if I take something like this brown? Ooh, that's very dark. But I'm also going to try with water and see what it does. It's already interesting with the wet that's there. You take this temporarily and just use it as the base in case the water goes off the edge. I'm probably going to layer things onto this page, so I don't mind that it gets a little bit dirty. So again, I'm just moving around this color. I think I need a little bit more blue down there. Let's try again with this one. Kind of like it blurry like that. That's nice. Okay. Well, I don't love it, but it's interesting, right? And I got to play and see what happens with these things, with these colors. So, okay, I can use it in here somehow. I have got some scraps. I have this pretty paper. It's kind of like a wax paper. I think somebody gave that to me. What if I put that in here like this? And I have this window, right? That'd be kind of cool to do that. I added some paint to this old envelope. Oh, and this purple kind of matches with this. So what if I put this in here like that? That'd be kind of fun, right? There. I already like that. That's very simple. 3 things, 3 pieces, right? If I wanted to, I could do some rubber stamping over here. Maybe I can do a little bit more with this. What color should I add? Try with the yellow. Kind of like that idea. Maybe yellow and orange? No, not orange. How does that look? What if I try my pastels? Is it going to be too messy? I just want to blend it. Okay, so I'm going to glue those down I'm gonna use double-sided tape because I think it's just gonna stick better. All right, so my first page is in here. Do I absolutely love this? No, I don't. But I love that I've tried something new. I've experimented with things that I don't normally experiment with. I could take some notes about water or what I would do differently next time if I really wanted to. So it's a start. It's a start in the right direction. I have one book recommendation. This book I really like, from Danny Gregory, How to Draw Without Talent. It's a small book, paperback, and what's nice about it is that it just gives you some good advice and shows you how to do some exercises to get some things down, right? How to spend your time. Spend more time drawing than thinking about drawing, looking at art, reading art books, shopping for supplies, watching YouTube tutorials on drawing, watching cat videos on Facebook. That's pretty good, right? It doesn't matter what you draw. It doesn't matter what you draw with. All that matters is that you draw, right? And so it just kind of encourages you to do simple things, right? So here's what's amazing about doing something like this. It's so freeing. Sometimes I make things that I like, and sometimes I don't. But either way, I'm building a skill. I'm learning what works and what doesn't work. I didn't become a prolific creator because I got more talented. I became one because I stopped needing every piece to prove something about me. That's what changed my life. Not a special technique or expensive supplies or perfect organization. Just the awareness that sometimes I'm going to make things that I don't like, and I will keep going anyway. If this resonated with you, let me know in the comments, please. And if you have a different reason that's holding you back, I'd love to hear about that too. Now, if you're looking for a project to help you get unstuck, check out this video on grid journaling here. It's going to give you some ideas. I hope to see you over there.